Hey guys, so here's some things that the Yankees are doing really, really well that I think are very likely flying under the radar because they're just not sexy metrics, right? But I want to point them out and give them credit for it because this is a drastically different and a drastically improved team from last year. And they're doing a lot of things that they were not doing last year. So before I get into the details, if it's your first time here, welcome. Please subscribe to the channel if you enjoy stuff like this, especially with the Yankees. If you like the content, hit the like button and hit the notification bell as well so you don't miss stuff. I do breaking news, post-game recaps, line. I do all kinds of stuff. And I don't want you to miss anything good. So with that, some things that the Yankees are doing really, really well. Number one, with the improved defense in the infield. You've got Donaldson at third. Even though his bat hasn't heated up, I'm confident it will. Kind of left at shortstop. Rizzo at second, whether it's DJ for the most part Rizzo at first, and either it's DJ at second or Marwin Gonzalez and in some to a degree Gleyber Torres. They're making difficult plays look like routine plays now. So, and this is something that the Yankees in 2021 and even before were not able to do. So that improved defense in the infield is premium right now. It's saving them. And I said this before. It's when they have trouble manufacturing runs, they're also preventing runs from scoring as well. And that is another dynamic that's important. So the improved defense in the infield is key, as well as the improved defense behind the dish with Trevino. And Higashioka's been solid too. There's been some issues. I do think once Ben Workvet officially comes up, that they're probably going to wind up moving on from Higashioka and keeping Trevino and Workvet, who are expert game callers and pitch framers and whatnot. But they also have 4 years of control each, and they're way younger, or much younger than Higashioka. I do think they'll wind up moving on from him and letting those two guys be the pair. So, and that improved defense behind the plate is making for much better pitchers, much more confident pitchers, much more happy pitchers. You could just tell the dynamic on this team is so much different than it was before, right? And I am confident with things like Josh Donaldson. His bat hasn't heated up yet. He's been a little bit streaky, but it looks like he's on the verge. But some things that he did, I want to give him credit for something he did last night. He purposely took that third strike to let Tim LeCastro steal second base. And what happened? Gleyber Torres drove him in, okay, and scored the winning run for the Yankees and put them up 3-2 on the Blue Jays. So it's little things like that aren't usually recognized, and I like to recognize. So I like to do stuff like this. And again, it's kind of across the board. They're playing better defense, moving guys over, right, shifting, and doing things that other teams have done to them for years, and they're doing it now too. So going and defensive replacements. You have Marwin, you have Tim LeCastro in the outfield making fantastic plays. They're a much better defensive team across the board. And you can see the chemistry in this team, too. They look much more comfortable with each other. They look happy to be with each other. You know how hard it was to get them to look like that over the last couple of years, even though they had playoff teams? It just looked like it looked like a miserable team for the most part. This looks like a really happy, fun, exciting team. And that's another thing, okay? They have the right mix of guys here. Even though they didn't make the sexy signings this offseason or the giant trades, right? The right guys are here. It looks like that. Okay, at least in my opinion, it looks like the right guys are here. So these are little things I want to point out. And again, the bullpen's doing a fantastic job. The pitching rotation's doing a fantastic job. I do think they should get another starting pitcher. Okay, and I definitely think that because how many times the Yankees have had issues with their starting rotation. Health is always an issue with the Yankees starters. So bringing in another guy, even if they bring in a proven starter at the deadline or something like that, will go a long way to helping the Yankees. Okay. And even though they've got Clark Schmidt, guys like Manny Banuelos in the wings, and we don't know what's going to happen with Domingo Germán yet, but another reliable starter would come in handy. Okay, I just worry about Severino's health, Taillon's health, and Nestor Cortes, and more along the lines of Nestor Cortes kind of breaking down again. He might break down a little bit later in the season. I don't think he's built up enough arm endurance to last his season as a starter. I hope I'm wrong, but that's what happened. One of the things that happened to him last year. So I hope he's a little bit better off and he's built more towards being a starter this year. So, because I really like him. I really like Nestor. And he's got 4 years of control. If he's not a free agent until 2026. So, Severino's got 1 more year after next year. It's an option. Taillon's done after this season. He's a free agent. So, as well as some other guys too, obviously Judge and Gallo and some other guys. Chapman, Britton. They've got a lot of money coming off the books. Like $60 million coming off the books this offseason. So, I'll be looking out for some guys. But these are little things I wanted to point out that the Yankees are doing that to me, they fly under the radar. Whether it's moving guys over, like I said, or hitting sacrifice flies to let the guy score from third base, right? And things like that the Yankees have never done. Even bunting. It's almost like guys forget to bunt when they get to the major leagues or forget to hit the opposite field. They've got guys doing that too, which is mind-boggling, but I'm so happy to see them do it. So, what do you think? What do you think? You guys let me know. And if there's something that you're noticing that's not being pointed out by people, because I like to give them credit where it's due, and I like to give them this underrated credit. To me, is just as valuable as some of their power, and some of their power hasn't been there either. Stanton's not hot yet, and Gallo's been hurt, not hot. So like this issue, there's still holes here, but the Yankees are still winning winnable games, which is fantastic. Last couple of years they've been losing and blowing winnable games, so that's another dynamic on this team. So which I think is drastically improved. So let's get into this. I want to know what you guys think.